Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast, Raw in Wonderland. Today, we're stepping into the world of Sex and the City to explore a concept that shapes how we connect with others, the attachment theory. And what better way to explore this than by looking at one of the most iconic, complicated relationships in TV history, Carrie Bradshaw and Mr. Big. Yes, we're going to talk about dating, heartbreak, and those toxic loops we sometimes find ourselves in. But this isn't just a stroll down Fifth Avenue. Oh no, we're diving deep into psychology to understand why we chase emotionally unavailable people and how we can break that pattern. Okay, before we start unpacking Carrie and Big's mess, let's talk about attachment theory. This concept was developed by British psychologist John Bowlby. The core idea of this theory is that the way we bonded with our caregivers when we were little shapes how we connect with people as adults. Attachment theory says we all have a particular attachment style. There are four main styles, so let's break them down. First one is secure attachment. These are the lucky ones. They feel safe in relationships, trust people, and communicate well. The second one is anxious attachment. These people crave connection but are constantly afraid of being abandoned. They often need a lot of reassurance. The third one is avoidant attachment. These people fear intimacy. They keep others at arm's length and don't like emotional vulnerability. The third one is disorganized attachment. This is a mix of anxious and avoidant. People with this style want closeness but fear it at the same time. Most of us fall into one of these categories or somewhere in between. Now, let's see how these styles play out in Carrie and Big's relationship. Carrie Bradshaw is a writer living in New York City. She is stylish, witty, and hopelessly romantic, and the love of her life, Mr. Big. From the very first season of Sex and the City, their relationship is a mess. They are drawn to each other like magnets, but the dynamic is toxic. Let's move on with some examples. One day, Big runs into Carrie at church, but there's a catch. In fact, Carrie secretly goes to the church to spy on him. Mr. Big is sitting with his mother. Carrie is watching him from a distance, hoping Big will introduce her to his mother. But no, he never does. After church, Carrie is asking Big why he didn't introduce her. And he suddenly brushes it off saying, "My mother doesn't need to meet every woman I'm dating." Oh, that's avoidant attachment in action. Big keeps Carrie at arm's length, emotionally unavailable, and unwilling to let her into his life. Let's move to another scene. After 2 seasons of their on-again, off-again relationship, Carrie thinks they are finally on solid ground. But one evening, over dinner, Big casually drops a bombshell. He is moving to Paris. Carrie is stunned. "You're moving to Paris? When were you going to tell me?" Big shrugs and says he wasn't sure how to bring it up. This scene is a classic example of anxious attachment. Carrie craves stability and commitment, but Big's avoidant tendencies leave her feeling insecure and desperate for reassurance. Let's move to another example. In the final episode, Carrie moves to Paris with another man. Big suddenly decides to chase after her. He flies to Paris to win her back. It's supposed to be romantic, but let's pause for a moment. Big only wants Carrie when she's about to move on, especially when with another man. This is classic avoidant behavior. He can't handle emotional intimacy, but he also can't handle losing Carrie completely. Now, let's talk about what healthy love looks like. We see glimpses of secure attachment in Sex and the City, particularly in the relationship between Charlotte and her second husband, Harry. At first, Charlotte doesn't even like Harry. He's bold and a bit rough around the edges. But over time, they build a relationship based on mutual respect, trust, and open communication. Harry loves Charlotte for who she is, with flaws and all. And Charlotte learns to let go of her perfectionism and accept love in its purest form. And now, let's look at the lessons we can learn from Carrie and Big. So, what can we take away from all of this? Here are 4 key lessons to help us move toward healthy, secure relationships. First one, recognize your patterns. Ask yourself, are you chasing an emotionally unavailable person? Are you stuck in a push-pull dynamic like Carrie and Big? Awareness is the first step. 2. Set healthy boundaries. Don't let someone else's avoidant behavior make you feel small. You deserve someone who is there for you consistently and fully. Third one, communicate clearly. People aren't mind readers. If you want a healthy relationship, you need to express what you want and need. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're dating someone and you want to know where things are going. Instead of playing guessing games, you say, "Hey, I really like spending time with you. I want to know if we're on the same page. I'm looking forward for a long-term relationship. Is that something you want too?" And then you listen. Be prepared to hear the answer, even if it's not what you want to hear. 4. Accept reality as it is. If someone tells you who they are, believe them. If they say, "I'm not ready for a relationship," or "I can't give you what you want," don't chase. Accept reality and move forward with grace. Here is a thought. Reality is kind, even when it's not what we want to hear. Because when we face the truth, we stop wasting time chasing something that isn't meant for us. We free ourselves from heartbreak and make space for healthy, secure love to enter our lives. So, what can we learn from Carrie and Big? Love doesn't have to feel like a chase. Healthy relationships are built on trust, respect, and clear communication, not emotional roller coasters. And remember, you're the writer of your own story. You get to choose the ending. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and don't chase the bigs. Chase your peace. Bye, guys.